Today we are going to be talking about the remarkable life of William H. Hastie, the first African American governor and federal judge. William Henry Hastie Jr. was born to parents William Henry Hastie Sr. and Roberta Childs on November 17th, 1904 in Knoxville, Tennessee. In William's early teen years, his family relocated from Knoxville, Tennessee to Washington, D.C., where he would go on to attend Dunbar High School in the city. After graduating in high academic standing, William Henry Hastie would attend Amherst College in Amherst, Massachusetts, where he would receive his bachelor's degree and he was named the valedictorian of his class. After his time at Amherst College, William Hastie would go on to Harvard University, where he would begin his pursuit of a law degree. Graduating from Amherst College, William Henry Hastie would go on to attend Harvard University in pursuit of a law degree. In 1930, he achieved this degree, and then soon after, he would go on in pursuit of his doctorate in law, which he would achieve in 1933. While at Harvard, he worked on the Harvard Law Review and did a lot at the university. After his time at Harvard University, William Henry Hastie would go on to work at the Howard University School of Law. While at Howard University, William Henry Hastie would work with his cousin Charles Hampton at his cousin's law firm in the city. His work at Howard and with his cousin garnered a lot of connections throughout the city, including those in the administration of FDR, leading him to forge a relationship with them and eventually start working for the Department of the Interior under the Roosevelt administration. His work with the administration and the Department of the Interior would lead to FDR appointing him to the District Court of the United States Virgin Islands in 1937. This made William Henry Hastie the first African American federal judge. The decision was very controversial, as America was still an apartheid state at this time. While many challenged the decision, Hastie stayed above all the noise and just did his job. In 1939, Hastie stepped down from being a district court judge in the Virgin Islands, and he went back to Washington, D.C. Later that year in 1939, he would accept a job at Howard University, where he would become an educator. While at Howard University, he would mentor the student Thurgood Marshall, who would go on to be the first African American named to the Supreme Court. William Henry Hastie worked very closely with his pupil Thurgood Marshall. They worked on the case Smith versus Allwright, which went to the Supreme Court. They ended up winning the case, which would prove a big step forward in the early civil rights movement. After America's entry into World War II, William Henry Hastie would go on to work very closely with high-up people in the military. While doing this, he really advocated for desegregation of the troops. After advocating for this for around 3 years, Hastie was very frustrated. After working on this for a couple of years, William Henry Hastie saw no real progression in this movement. This frustrated him and led him to drop out of the military in protest. His advocacy for desegregated troops would actually lead to the desegregation of troops later on, though, as his complaints did not fall upon deaf ears. In 1946, President Harry S. Truman would appoint William Henry Hastie as governor of the United States Virgin Islands. This made William Henry Hastie the first African American governor of a United States state or territory. William Henry Hastie spent 3 years as governor of the United States Virgin Islands. In 1949, he resigned, opting to go back to the mainland. President Truman would appoint William Henry Hastie to the Third District Appellate Court of the United States of America, which is one step under the Supreme Court. William Henry Hastie would be a judge at this court for 21 years until 1971. In his time as a judge, he garnered many rumors about him becoming a Supreme Court judge and possibly being the first African American on the Supreme Court. This honor would, in fact, go to his pupil, Thurgood Marshall. William Henry Hastie would retire in 1971 and live out his last 5 years with his family. Unfortunately, he passed in 1976, leaving 2 children and his wife. William Henry Hastie is truly an inspiration. He worked many years for equality and for justice to be served. He was a family man and overall a great person. He did so much for all Americans, and it's very sad that not many people know about him. In many ways, his work set the table for a lot that was done during the Civil Rights Movement. His life was extremely remarkable, and his legacy should be honored in our schools every day. And that was the remarkable life of William Henry Hastie.